As I opened the front door, I saw my childhood best friend and current roommate standing there, frowning as she stared at the white boxer briefs dangling between her fingers. My gaze dropped from her slender wrist. Christ, she was wearing a flimsy silk slip that barely brushed the top of her thighs. She didn't care at all about the agonizing view she was giving me. She just flashed a bright smile and shoved the fresh stack of clothes against my chest. Go take a shower. In her eyes, I was the ultimate safe zone, the purely platonic bestie. She had zero boundaries with me, going as far as washing my damn tight briefs. She had no idea. She didn't know how much raw willpower it took. Watching a walking temptation like her parade around our apartment every single day, just to keep my hands to myself. My eyes tracked the agonizing curve of her waist, trailing down to the hemline hovering dangerously high above her knees. I swear she arched her back right then, a subtle shift that pushed her chest forward, making the thin fabric strain. My breath snagged in my throat. Blair? Jesus. She really was just casually hanging out in lingerie. She just flashed that innocent grin, unfazed by my burning stare. Shower first? I laid your clothes out for you. I got it. I snatched the bundle from her. Catching a glimpse of her chest, I felt my face heat up. I realized I couldn't survive living like this. Blair and I grew up next door to each other. We had a lifetime of history, which meant she had literally zero concept of personal space when it came to me. Simply put, she didn't see me as a man. She linked our arms without a second thought. She ate off my fork. She drank from my iced coffee, her lips pressing exactly where mine had been. She washed my damn boxers. She did everything a fiercely devoted girlfriend would do. But to her, I was just a friend. And sure, Blair was a catch. Stunning, empathetic, built like a sin. Any guy with a pulse would kill to be with her. Proximity usually wins in these situations. I should have made my move years ago, but every perfect thing has a fatal flaw. Blair had a hard limit, a massive red flag planted firmly in her past. When we were kids, she walked in on her dad hooking up with another woman. The betrayal broke something in her. Now, she was deeply repulsed by any guy who crossed the line from platonic to romantic. Show interest? Pushed away? Confess your feelings? Blocked, deleted, erased from her life forever. I was the only guy left standing, the lone survivor, and it was solely because I played the role of the harmless, loyal friend to flawless perfection. But standing here, breathing in her vanilla perfume, the regret was a physical weight in my gut. Moving in together was a mistake. The closer we got, the harder it was to bury the obsession. If I slipped up, if she saw the way I actually looked at her, I'd lose her completely, because I didn't just want to be her friend. I wanted all of her. The hot water washed away the exhaustion of the day. I dragged a heavy breath into my lungs, memories bleeding into my mind. Freshman year of college, Blair was terrified people would take advantage of my laid-back nature. She shadowed me between classes. I walked her back to her dorm every single night. Naturally, the rumors started. We were grabbing lunch in the dining hall when her roommate Riley slammed her tray down next to us. So, are you two finally official? Riley asked, eyes darting between us. How long have you been hooking up? I froze, a bite of food halfway to my mouth. Before I could form a single word, Blair's face dropped, her expression twisting into raw disgust. Don't project that disgusting shit onto us, Blair snapped, her voice razor sharp. Ezra and I are best friends. The entire table went dead silent. Eyes burned into the side of my head. Pity, shock. I just calmly took a bite of my sandwich. What? I thought, chewing slowly. Never seen a purely platonic friendship before? Yeah, neither had I. She reached for my hand again. Her fingers brushed mine, and I finally hit my breaking point. Don't you think this is crossing a line? I asked, keeping my voice deadpan. Holding hands in the middle of the mall, Blair blinked, completely innocent. We were wearing color-coordinated streetwear, her idea, obviously. What's the big deal? She asked. It's packed in here. Do you want to lose me in the crowd? Fuck, she had a point. I had no defense against that logic, but it was the middle of summer. She was wearing next to nothing, and the friction of her bare arm pressing against mine was pure torture. She patted my head and pointed toward the concession stand. Wait here, I'm grabbing popcorn and cokes. If I send you, you'll definitely mess up the butter ratio. I watched her walk away. The sway of her hips made my chest tight. A dark, twisted sense of satisfaction bloomed in my chest. If I could just keep hiding it, I thought, maybe this would be enough. Ezra, a deep voice shattered my thoughts. I turned. It was Tristan, the undisputed golden boy from our college days. Crisp white button-down, neatly tucked into light-wash denim. He stood tall, oozing effortless arrogance. I'd crossed paths with him a few times back in school, mostly because he constantly orbited Blair. Hey, I said, keeping my tone neutral. Small world. A smirk played on his lips. Not really. I came specifically looking for you. He pulled out his phone and tapped the screen. Blair's latest Instagram story glowed in his hand. The caption read, movie date. Below it was a photo of our hands locked together, complete with a location tag for the mall. Ezra, Tristan started, with a hint of sarcasm and jealousy in his voice. I can't believe you're still pulling this shameless act, camping out in the friend zone just to reap the boyfriend benefits. I hardened my jaw. And? Why do you care? He lifted his chin proudly. A woman like Blair? Everyone wants her. You probably don't know this, but we've kept in touch since graduation. She asks me about things guys like all the time. He stepped closer. I know how she ticks. I rank high in her book. If I actually made a move, she'd be mine. I stared at him. A wave of genuine pity washed over me. Sure, every guy wanted Blair, but Blair was untouchable. She wouldn't bend for anyone, let alone a guy like him. Good luck with that, I deadpanned. Tristan's handsome face twisted into an ugly sneer. You know what everyone calls you behind your back? A parasite, playing the innocent saint, tagging along like a neutered dog because you're too too much of a coward to actually tell her how you feel. He stepped right into my personal space, his eyes gleaming with malice. What do you think she'd do if she found out? He whispered. If she knew her very best friend harbored the exact same disgusting obsession as the rest of us? The ultimate betrayal. My throat instantly closed up. He hit the nail on the head. A cold sweat broke out across my spine, chilling my blood. This was my deepest, darkest fear dragged into the light. I was terrified of losing her. My silence fed his ego. He leaned in, his voice dripping with toxic confidence. Too bad your time is up, Ezra. Blair's voice sliced through the tension. I whipped my head around. Blair stood there, a total knockout. She wore a tight white crop top and a pleated mini skirt. Even balancing a massive tub of popcorn, she commanded every eye in the room, but her expression was pure thunder. If she hadn't looked so fiercely unapproachable right now, a dozen guys would have already asked for her number. Her storm clouds broke for a second when she registered Tristan. Oh, what are you doing here? Tristan immediately plastered on a flawless, charming smile. Just walking by. Must be fate. Fate? I scoffed internally. That is definitely not what you just said. You massive fraud. Blair frowned. She grabbed my wrist and plastered her body against my side. Her heat seeped through my shirt. She gave Tristan an icy nod. Movie starting. Ezra and I are heading in. Tristan's expression froze for a second. He reached out, his fingers desperately snagging the hem of Blair's crop top. A pathetic, pleading smile stretched across his face. Wait, I need to tell you something. He shot a glare at me. Can you give us a minute? I shifted to step back, but Blair's fingers dug into the soft skin of my waist. A sharp, grounding pinch. I glanced down. She already had her phone out. Her thumb swiped through her contacts, landing on Tristan's name. Block. Delete. No hesitation. The remaining color drained from Tristan's face. You. Blair looked up, her eyes turning ice cold. I thought everyone knew the rules by now. She tilted her head. Thanks for the gift advice in the past, though. The pieces clicked. Every mismatched birthday present she'd ever bought me. She'd been asking him. No wonder the gifts never actually hit the mark. Tristan looked utterly wrecked. Stripped of his golden boy armor, he was just another casualty. I lowered my gaze. Everyone knew her boundaries. They just delusionally hoped they'd be the exception to the rule. None of them were. I reached over to take the heavy popcorn tub from her hands. Tristan's head snapped up. Pure, venomous desperation twisted his features. What about Ezra? He spat. Ezra is more obsessed with you than anyone else here. He looked extremely smug. He dragged the syllables out, practically grabbing popcorn for the show. He was dragging my darkest, dirtiest secret out into the blinding mall lights, ripping my chest open and showing her exactly how much I craved her. A cold knot tightened in my throat. My lungs seized. I dropped my gaze to the floor tiles. I didn't utter a single syllable of defense. Tristan's smirk widened. Blair closed the gap between us. Her vanilla scent enveloped me. The intense proximity sent a violent pulse hammering against my ribs. She wrapped her arm tight around my waist. The storm clouds vanished from her face, replaced by a radiant, careless grin. Duh, not only does he like me, but Ezra is my all-time favorite person in the world. I stopped breathing. Tristan short-circuited. A suffocating, awkward silence dropped over us. I shot a covert glance at Blair, only to realize she was practically glowing with smug satisfaction. Tristan looked like he'd been hit by a truck. He pointed a shaking finger at her. But you told everyone you didn't want. Blair rolled her eyes. People like you will never understand what Ezra and I have. We aren't dragged down by some superficial, flesh-driven hookup culture. Tristan stared at us, his jaw practically on the floor. Her unwavering conviction shattered him. I let out a slow, steady exhale. See, this is always how it ends. This wasn't the first time some rejected guy tried to weaponize our closeness. Blair just didn't care. That was why I never panicked. In her mind, our love was an absolute certainty, but it was completely sanitized, pure, platonic. The thought of taking me to bed genuinely didn't compute for her. A sharp guy like Tristan read exactly between those lines. The shock washed away, leaving him hollow. All his toxic posturing instantly evaporated into a pathetic joke. I was never his rival, and he was never going to be her chosen one. The untouchable golden boy had just played the clown, torching his dignity for a girl he could never have. Blair's patience flatlined. She kept her arms securely locked around my waist and tugged me forward. Come on, Ezra, the trailers are starting. We brushed past Tristan. As my shoulder grazed his,